Since we first reported on the Ocean Cleanup Project, which uses a giant U-shaped tube and a net to corral plastic in the ocean, it's hit some headwinds. About a year ago, one of the devices broke, and scientists have questioned whether it's money well spent, and they've floated the idea that the project could actually have a negative effect on the environment. But Ocean Cleanup has had some success since then, and it's hoped to become one of a number of solutions to the problem of plastic in the ocean.
What we see here are actually the stomach contents of a single sea turtle that was found dead 2 years ago.
This was all in one sea turtle?
One sea turtle.
Look at all that plastic.
There are approximately 150 million tons of plastic in the world's oceans, and a recent UK report predicts that that number will triple in the next decade. Pieces of plastic in the ocean can kill sea life, threaten industries like fishing or tourism, and negatively affect our health when they end up in our food.
That plastic is still going to be there in 1 year, it's still going to be there in 10 years, it's probably still going to be there in 100 years. Only if we go out there and clean it up, this amount of plastic is going to go down.
One young Dutch inventor and his team have their sights set on solving the plastic problem. How? It's an almost 2,000-foot-long floating pipe with a net hanging below.
If you look around the world, there's plastics washing up on beaches. Basically, we designed an artificial coastline here as a method of taking the plastics out of the water over there. The wind is like propelling the system through the area such that the open end of the U, so to speak, is going forward.
So it's kind of like a catcher's mitt for ocean plastic.
Yeah, exactly. And then every couple of months there is a boat coming, a bit like a garbage truck in the ocean, and that takes the plastics out there on the boat and brings it back to shore.
This first version of the system was deployed to much fanfare in 2018, but it failed to collect and retain the plastic. Since then, the team has added a parachute to slow it down and a cork line to prevent the plastic from going over the top of the floating pipe. Now, the team says, the new system is working. But critics have worried about the system's effect on marine life.
Are these the tubes that we see out there?
Yeah, so we have the floater at the top that obviously keeps it afloat, while we have the screen underneath it that prevents plastic from going under it. So we don't have anything that can entangle marine life. And what happens is that the current flows underneath it, while the plastic which floats will remain in this zone in front of the cleanup system.
You obviously have a ton of support for your project, but there's also a lot of critics out there who are saying, you know, you guys are just skimming the surface of this problem and you're not dealing with microplastics.
92% of the plastic isn't microplastic, but are larger objects.
It's not microplastics yet.
Right, so it's kind of a ticking time bomb. The sooner we get that out, the better.
They're starting with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a floating mass of trash more than twice the size of Texas. The group plans to make consumer products out of recycled plastic from the patch.
This pair of sunglasses, we already made this from plastic coming out of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
But the ultimate goal? To clean up 90% of ocean plastic by the year 2040.
Back in the day, people said, well, there's no way to clean this up. The best thing we could do is not make it worse. But to me, that's a very uninspiring message. You know, everyone wants the future to be better than the present. And that's what we hope to achieve with this cleanup.